Well, phenomenal news, everybody. We are now ready for the run. So take it away.
Oh, okay, well, hopefully everything's gonna go alright now. I'm not gonna, like, yeah, I'm just gonna get into it, since I talked a bit before and there's room in the first level. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, the first level, well, the first thing I should mention, which you might have noticed in the bonus features, is that the character dialogue is like broken. That's because of fast disk speed, which is an option on PS2 that makes PS1 games load faster. Fortunately, it's only really gonna be an issue in this level, so yeah, I'm sorry for that, but it does make loadings faster, so we do allow it for runs. And this is basically the only level that has unskippable dialogue like this, so anything else further in the game can be skipped. But yeah, so this is usually when I run this game and like marathons and stuff, I tend to submit all levels, which is like any percent with 2 extra levels, which basically has like out of bounds stuff in like every level at this point, which on one hand I like showing off, but on the other it's a lot more stressful. This category, since obviously you're tied to like getting collectibles and stuff, you can't really like break the game as much, which makes it, apart from like 1 or 2 levels, makes it a pretty relaxing run. So yeah, and considering we are currently on a channel code no glitches allowed, it's kind of fitting, I would say, to run a less broken category. Funny thing here is that thanks to like the dialogue being broken, it allows you to start the like thinking animation earlier than you should be able to. I don't think it actually like makes it any faster, because I think the bar only starts filling up once you once the box disappears, but it's funny that it's a thing at all. And yeah, basically the requirements of this category, since I didn't really touch on that yet, is you probably noticed me collecting 2 like symbols down there, which it's like it spells out Atlantis in the Atlantean like, and basically collecting all of the letters in a level unlocks the intro cutscene for that level in the bonus features. And then there's green crystals, which there's 1 of in each level. They unlock getting all of them unlocks the 2 extra options in bonus features that I showed at the start. But yeah, this level unfortunately is... the split takes like 6 minutes, but actual gameplay is like less than 2 maybe. I think I didn't need to scroll there. Don't know why I do that sometimes. You can like confirm the first one, then the second one. I sometimes just instinctively scroll, because that's what you do for the first item you give him. But yeah, we are slowly approaching the end of this level. Just need to obtain weapon we're gonna be using with this character. There's more characters, as you might have noticed with more talk about, but yeah, this is the main guy which we're gonna be playing as the most throughout the game. Especially, well, actually, in all levels or any percent, we barely play as other characters, but in this category, since we need to do most levels the intended way, we actually use the others a lot more. But yeah, I need to... Here is where the level would end normally, but I still need a couple more collectibles, so I'm gonna head back to the basement, since he told me that I can use that thing over there. Okay, ideally would grab that. Can use this to open the door into the boiler room, which only works after he tells us about it. Here we have... There is a boomerang minigame where we could try and beat Whitmer's score, but we don't include that in the 100% rule set. So yeah, that's that for this level. There's... well, they'll appear in after a couple levels, but there are white crystals which are they are not saved though, so that's another collectible that we don't count for 100%, because every time you restart the level they reappear. So yeah, we only count the collectibles that okay. That got... there's supposed to be a little cutscene showing you Rourke over there, telling you something. I skipped it instantly. There's a really infamous strat with that barrel in any percent, but thankfully, since we are doing a hundo, we don't need to worry about it, because it's a huge run killer in any percent and all levels. Because you need to push the barrel into a specific position, and if you push it too much, you can't pull it back, so you really just have one shot at positioning it, and then there's a lot of RNG in whether the strat actually works. So yeah, I'm a big fan of not having to worry about it at the moment. And yeah, now basically we are in a big submarine heading for Atlantis, but unfortunately there's some complications in the way and we need to fix our weapon systems or something, so we can fight back, which unfortunately isn't gonna quite help as much as you would expect. So now we have to switch back to Milo, because he's the only character that can climb in the game. Well, actually there is one more character that can climb walls, not ceiling ladders like this, but ones that are on a wall, but it's never used anywhere. I kinda just randomly found that out when I was messing with stuff, since I made, like, recently made some practice, like, Game Shark codes for this game, which, like, basically, like, instant teleports to specific spots in levels, so you can practice stuff more efficiently. And I managed to, like, find out a lot of like unused and cut stuff, so that was really interesting. But yeah, this level in particular doesn't really get much, like, since, as I said, there's a strat at the start which is really hard, but it allows you to, like, skip all the way to the end of the level. And recently there's been, like, 2 or 3 marathon runs of any person and all levels, and all of them got the strat, so this is, like, the first time in a while that this particular level is, like, actually being played in a marathon run. But yeah, basically now the like, sub is falling apart, so we disabled these, like, turbines to make way so we can leave. Not before we collect a couple more collectibles though. Need to not forget about that, because I don't remember ever really doing it, but if I, like, leave a level without getting a collectible, that's not gonna be great, because you don't really have an option to just, like, get a collectible and then go back to the level select. You would need to redo the entire level. But yeah, we are coming up to the end of this one, which went pretty well, I would say. Not that there's too much that can go bad when you do it the intended way, pretty much. There are gonna be some levels that are gonna be, like, broken. So yeah, it's not just all gonna be the intended way. But yeah, I mean, it's a handle, so, you know, it is to be expected. Okay, so this is the first of 3 vehicle levels, and yeah, you can see this guy called Leviathan is holding the sub in his, like, claw. Basically we need to, like, distract him so the sub-pods that are still on board can, like, leave. When I was a kid, it took me a while to figure out why his health is, like, measured in submarines, because obviously I didn't speak English, so I didn't really, like, understand what was going on. Okay. One thing on that boss fight is that you can, like, hold X like this, but spamming it is, like, makes you shoot faster. So yeah, but for the rest of this level it's basically an auto-scroller, trying to, like, not miss collectibles and stuff. So if we have anything to read, you can go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. The fastest place on Earth is raising money for PRISM, an LGBTQ plus charity in Southern Florida. This organization works to combat bills like the recent Don't Say Gay bill in Florida with openness and inclusivity to all. Type !donate in chat to donate and !PRISM for more information about the charity.
Okay.
Use another?
Yeah, so... What?
You good? You need any other announcements?
I mean, if you have anything else, you can go ahead, because this takes a little bit.
Sure thing. Just as a reminder, we have a bid we're open to choose the main character for the Magical Tetris Challenge between Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy. Get your donations in.
Okay. So... Yeah, I'm still kinda just making my way through... I'm trying to like think, because I mentioned pretty much like everything that really like matters in this level at the start. You basically just don't wanna die in this part. There's not really much you can do to make it faster, since you are like on a rail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just like keeps going. Like the only thing I'm doing is steering and shooting, but thankfully we are at the end. And apparently I did that.
Nice, congrats.
Yeah, the boss fight was pretty good at the start, so... Yeah, so, Cove. This level contains basically the biggest strat in this game. It's not the hardest one, but it skips like 2 entire levels in any percent. I'm going the other way, because in other categories I do that level first. Yeah, so basically the intended way you're meant to do this level is you have to complete 2 trials, namely Fire and Ice trial, where you get 2 gems, which unlock like a big door in Cove, where you get a part for a machine that allows you to like dig through walls and finish the level, but let's just say we don't want to do that, but you'll see once we complete the trials and get back in there, because there was like the one strat that was found like years ago, because it was like the only big strat pretty much before I started running the game. It was like everything was done mostly casually at that point. Well, casually, I mean like the intended way, I suppose, but now, as I said, the any percent categories are just completely broken open with like out of bounds strats in almost every level. We are actually gonna see one of those at the end of this level, hopefully, if I don't mess it up. I mean, I'm gonna go for it a couple times, but yeah, hopefully I can get it. So I'm gonna collect a crystal here, but it's not the crystal I was talking about. This level has like separate two... damn. So yeah, I tried to jump over that because the platform I jumped over the other way it like goes below the lava and I need to wait for it, but you can make that jump to the other side, so you don't have to wait, but unfortunately didn't quite work out. Okay, so there's another collectible here. Since we were still playing Zwinny, we blow that up. We first need to go to the other side because... yeah. One thing I need to mention about the enemies in this game. The ones that like shoot at you are really good at it for the most part. So it's like very easy to get sniped. Hence why I killed the ant there, because he could very easily just hit me when climbing this and make me fall off. So yeah, but I'm going to get the second lava crystal that I need to progress this level. This is also a level that people who played the demo of this game might remember, because there were two demos as far as I know. One had this level and the other one had Ice Trial. And no, okay, I really don't want that spider to hit me because it's the one enemy in the game that like poisons you and it takes like 20 HP or something before it wears off, which is annoying, especially since I don't have any anti-venom right now. Also, that's where the level ends in the demo. Okay. We are meant to be pushing a box through that part to like cover the fire and also to use to reach the collectible, but we can kind of just damage abuse through it and collect the collectible by jumping under it. So that's nice. I still have the first aid kit from the second level, which I might use later. Depends how much damage I take. Thankfully, this game is pretty generous with damage. Like, a lot of stuff that kills you just takes 10 HP, and you only lose a life once your HP reaches 0. So, which in vehicle levels, when you die, you instantly lose an entire life, but in like these ones, with platforming levels, you just lose 10 HP, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so I changed into Winnie because I'm gonna blow this thing up and I'm gonna change characters again back to Milo, because as I mentioned, he's the only one that can climb. Basically all of these characters have like their own like things that they can or cannot do, and you need to like okay, I was supposed to grab that wall. You need to like know which ones you're meant to use for what. Okay. Annoying. Okay, so now we are gonna use a mole for the first time, because we are gonna be doing some digging. Okay, his jumps are really like tiny, so you have to okay, I think I'm gonna just to be safe, because I really don't wanna die earlier than I should. I can like death abuse there to go back to the checkpoint, which would be faster, but I was really low on health and I didn't wanna risk it. But I guess I can death abuse here. Don't think it's really gonna like save too much. But yeah. Okay, back to Milo. Yeah, there's a couple more. Oh, there's the green crystal, and then the red gem I mentioned. And yeah, now it's gonna take a life because I had less than 10 HP, but we still have 5 more, so it's perfectly fine. Now here, if I don't mess this up, I can make a quick cycle, and I already messed it up. You basically have to like perfectly get through that, so you can catch the elevator ahead, but it's alright. Not a huge deal. Yeah, so here I'm going to grab a checkpoint. I don't know. Can I still? Damn. Ideally you wanna grab the checkpoint and then catch the same platform for a collectible up ahead, but fortunately I jumped a little too late for the checkpoint, so it was like too far to get to. But yeah, here I'm going to try the... Damn. Okay. I thought I can still make that, but it's alright. Okay. So there's an out of bounds threat here that I can do. Hopefully it's gonna work. We're meant to jump over to another elevator, since these lead to a dead end. Okay, that was really tight. The physics on like a lot of stuff in this game is really kind of like slippery, so that one is pretty awkward. I barely made it this time. But yeah, that's the end of the first trial. Now we're gonna go back to Cove, so that we can enter the other trial. That's the one I was trying to go to before, but thankfully I realized, I mean, it wouldn't be a huge deal, I can just do them the other way around, it's just my splits would be messed up. Okay, I didn't wanna grab that, I just wanna get up, thank you. And yeah, as I said, there was like a demo that also had this level, so this is another level that some people may or may not remember from a demo. But the demos didn't actually have the full levels, they both ended like halfway through. So yeah, there's like still a part that if you only play the demo, you'll probably never seen. Okay, yeah, that's a bit annoying. I always forget that I have the crystal in my inventory, because basically these two levels are the ones I mentioned that you can skip entirely, you know, like any percent. And in all levels, obviously, you have to do them, but you don't have to do, like, get the crystals from them, since you can just do the skip in Cove and not have to bother with that. So it is a bit awkward suddenly having them in my inventory. But I was gonna say that it's the first time I'm playing as Audrey, but I actually play as her in Ulysses, the submarine level, so that wouldn't be quite accurate. Okay, so I skipped the first platform here by shooting ahead, because basically you're meant to shoot these symbols in an order for the platforms to like rise. And you can skip the first one by shooting the second one and then jumping before the platform gets like high up. That's like a nice little skip, which, because most skips in this game involve like getting out of bounds and stuff, so it's nice to just have a skip like that sometimes, where it's not like as game breaking. And also, if you like shoot them too quickly, the platforms you're standing on will go back down. So that's a bit, that can be a bit scary, but it's not too bad. Okay, so I needed to go out of my way a little bit for a collectible. And I'm gonna go on a slide right into... Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. You'll see. You'll see in just a second. So this somehow magically makes the ground just fall apart. And then we push an entire frozen ball with a mammoth inside down a hill, like it's nobody's business. Just like casually, if you ever saw the movie, you probably remember that Milo is like the weakest character in there, and he just like casually does this, like, yeah. Let's just swiftly move past that. A giant animal. Yep. It do be like that. And as you might imagine, since we ran straight past him, there's a chase sequence, which thankfully, for most of it, we can just like jump along the left side here. Just need to pay attention, because there's a one specific spot where you can make it past if you're lucky, but more often than not you're gonna get stuck and die, so I need to make sure I don't miss it. Was that the one? Yeah, it was. Okay. And yeah, here I talk about any person and all levels a lot, but as I said, there's like a lot of skips, which obviously we can't really do in this category since we are getting collectibles, but there's like a funny story for a skip in this level, which I basically found as a kid, but you know, back then I didn't really look at it as a speedrun skip, so I was kind of just sad that oh, okay, there we go. Basically you can clip inside that statue on the left, and I did it like accidentally, which like years later I just remembered that and realized I can use that as a speedrun skip. So it's kind of crazy how that worked out. Like, at the time I was sad, but if it never happened, I would like never think that there's something like that there. So that's still like insane to me. But back then I didn't even have like a memory card or anything, and in this game you only have an option to continue or quit game in the pause menu, so once like something like that happens, you don't really have an option other than to quit game. There is a way to get back like in bounds, but obviously I didn't know how that stuff works back then. But yeah, basically we are reaching the end of the level here. Just for more collectibles. Gotta watch out for these guys, because yeah, they can be... Well, if I like jumped right away, there's a chance he would like snipe me in midair. I don't wanna take any chances. But yeah, we have all the collectibles, because 2 more are up here. Just need to watch out to not get hit too much, because I can only take 2 more hits from these before dying. Okay, nice. And we are out. It's time to finally finish up Cove. Not that we ever really started it, but here for a long time, even, or well, for a while, no, actually for a long time, since the skip was known to like skip the trials. In Hundo, this level was done the intended way, but I timed it and figured out that it's faster to do a different route that doesn't use the machine that you can see on the left here, but instead gets all the collectibles and then does the out of bounds strat. So hopefully I can not fail it for a while, because yeah, I mean, it should still be faster even if it like takes a bit to get it, but yeah, because the first collectible that I got we would get on the machine where you're meant to like dig through 2 walls and you can like steer to the right to grab it, but yeah. These are the statues I mentioned, where we put these crystals that we got from the trials, and it opens these doors. There is a way to get here without them, using the out of bounds I mentioned, that we're gonna be doing at the end, but it wouldn't be faster, obviously, since like the crystals are basically along the way in the trials, and because of the collectibles we kinda need to like do them, so it wouldn't make sense to not like use them. But we are meant to get a part for the machine in this cave as well, but Since we are not gonna be using it, we don't need to bother. We just grab the collectibles and go. Now, hopefully... Ah, okay. Okay. To go this way. This is a thing that we didn't think of for a long time until another runner, shoutouts to Science, came up with the idea that we do have the compass from the first level, which is literally useless without like upgrading it. But you only really use that casually to find like collectibles and stuff. And it was like, why don't we use this to navigate like out of bounds? So that made a lot of these tricks like easier to deal with. Because I have like directions written down in my splits to like know which way to go and stuff. But yeah, this is another vehicle level, which is essentially an auto-scroller, so if we have anything to read, feel free to go ahead.
Of course. If you guys would like to get some donations in, as we are chugging through this run at great speed, make sure you're typing !donate in chat. And all of those donations are going to go to Prism, which is an LGBTQ plus charity in Southern Florida.
Yeah, so you might have noticed in the upper left corner, there is a meme out of bounds to the right there, by the way, but I'm not gonna... There's literally a collectible I need to get, so it's not like I can really meme even if I wanted to. Yeah, you might have noticed a counter that like keeps going down, and I need to make sure it doesn't hit 0 because that would kill me, and we don't want that to happen. And in this category specifically, it's a bit harder, since you may have noticed that there's like split parts. And the one I did, not this one, but the one before, in any percent we usually go the left way because it has more gas, so it's like safer, since you can see my health is at 98, so I'm not really worried about that. But in this category there's a collectible in the right path which has more health, so I need to pay more attention to my gas, make sure it doesn't run out. But yeah, this one I am holding X to like go faster, but even if I wasn't holding it I would still be moving, just slower. Which is funny because I think the gas would still like deplete the same speed. But yeah, we are almost like at the end here, so then we are finally gonna go into the Atlantis levels, which I prefer to the earlier part of the game because they are like very colorful and nice looking in my opinion. And so yeah. By the way, it says there's not a memory card inserted, but I do have one prepared, just in case I like soft log or something in a level, where I wouldn't be able to like continue. So I am hoping I'm not gonna have to use it, but you know, just in case. Anyway, this level is split up in two parts, and we can't get all of the collectibles on the first visit, so we are gonna get as many as we can, obviously. You'll see towards the end what I mean. Towards the end of the level, I mean. Okay, so... Also, this level is a bit different to the others, with that there's a death plane under basically the entire level, so there are some out-of-bounds threads that we could technically use, but they're basically like tasks only. I can jump all the way up that without having to grab it, but it didn't really work out. But yeah, mainly the one I'm approaching now. I'm gonna go across this bridge so I can switch characters to blow up some stuff in the way, but theoretically it is possible to just not have to change characters, just like get out of bounds and skip this, but it's incredibly high risk for low reward basically, so it'll obviously be implemented into like a task once it gets made, but I don't really see it being viable anytime soon for RTA runs. Yeah, okay, so... Okay, we don't really... As I said, the enemies in this game... Okay, I don't typically get hit by that one, but alright. They can be really good with their snipes. Okay, just getting hit by everyone. Yeah, here you might have noticed that there's two more doors, but they're locked since they'll unlock in the second visit after we do the level we're going in right now. And this is another level that has a skip in any percent, where you don't get to see like any of it, because oh well, give it a sec. You would do this part, and then from this room you can skip all the way to the end of the level. So just bear that in mind as you see me go through the level. So you'll like see how much you basically skip. That skip was also found kinda randomly, because it accidentally like happened to one runner. So, and he like sent a clip, so we kinda looked into it, and figured out we can make it somewhat consistent. So I climb a little bit, regain oxygen, because we need to swim all the way up. We wouldn't be able to make it in one breath. Okay. Now, this can be a little scary, the intended way. Like here, there's like a lower part on the left. They probably intended you to grab on first, but you can just like jump towards the right side and grab there instead, so it's not as scary. Now this part, okay, he definitely pre-aimed that. The hell. Okay, so we grab a key. I really don't wanna fall up here without getting the collectible, which I didn't. Okay, so these guys they're basically cops, and if they catch me, they're gonna put me in a prison, basically, which is really far back. So we don't want that to happen, ideally. This part, funnily enough, it's, as you could have seen, it's really not that difficult, but we used to be stuck on it for ages with my brother before we figured out what you're supposed to do. Okay, we need to grab these big stacks of hay. And hopefully I can... Nice, okay. That ledge can be a bit awkward. Sometimes you kind of just bounce off and don't grab on it and have to like retry, so it's great that I got it first try. And you may have noticed that I didn't get the next collectible, but I got the one after it. Okay. And I guess they intended you to go here first, get this, and then find out there's a missing piece, and then go back. Which is weird, because that door is like right next to the thing you walk over when you shoot down the haystack. Okay, I didn't. Just meant to scroll the radio the other way, but it's alright. And yeah, this is Kida, which is the Atlantean princess, and as you might have guessed, the cops are just gonna ignore her, so I can just go up here and open this. Funnily enough, if you manage to like fill up the bar there with Milo without getting busted, he'll say he like doesn't know what to do with it. So they really made sure you have to get Kida to get past that. Unless you do the out of bounds skip that I mentioned, obviously, but we need collectibles, so we don't do that here. Okay. Cool, okay. And now we go back into Outer Atlantis, where we get the remaining collectibles and exit the level another way so we can access the next one. And yeah, we are starting at a different spot as well, which is kind of like strange, just starting in like an enclosed room. Oh, I almost made it up there that time. But yeah, I actually, as I said, there's like a really difficult out-of-bounds strats that aren't really worth it, and one of them is reaching this exit early. Unfortunately, the game like has a variable that like tells it whether you're in the first or second stage of this level, and if it's the first one, it won't let you finish the level. So they really like made sure you can't break it too much, I suppose. And also this ending part looks very different in the American and the European versions for some reason. Like the collectible isn't next to the door in the European releases, but it's like over the water, and like the platform looks a bit different, so you can climb back up in case you like I guess don't get the collectible. Anyway, this is gonna be the most broken level in this run. So I am hoping it's gonna go well, because it's rough. It's really the hardest one. It's in any percent it's pretty difficult as well, but in hundo I would say it's even more difficult, since you have to go in and out of bounds several times to because of collectibles. But yeah, hopefully it's gonna go well. Need to kill 2 enemies here so that the way further opens up. We need to get... Okay, this other collectible is a little scary. Okay, I'm really surprised I didn't slip off, because that was awkward, but fine. Okay, I'm out of bounds. Need to go around. Okay, now I need to... I'm basically like falling through the map. Okay, I'm above where I need to go, so that's a good sign. Basically, I don't think I explained this, because I only did an out of bounds in Fire Trial before, but basically most levels, apart from Outer Atlantis, which has a death plane under the level, there's a... like when you get out of bounds like that, and start falling through the level, it essentially loops. So basically what I did there was fall through the floor, loop back around, and then fall like back inside into an area that doesn't have a ceiling. So, and that like skipped a pretty big portion of the beginning there. And it's I guess that one is even crazier in any percent, but obviously since we need to clip back for the collectible, this one's gonna be awkward because there's a head that's shooting fireballs. And I need to clip inside this door while... Okay, that works. Also, I need to make sure to watch out for certain spots and don't open the inventory or pause the game when in this state, because that triggers me to immediately start falling through the map. And it is possible to save it in certain spots, but it's like really awkward. So, and also I need to avoid those doors because they can pull me back in and force me into a swimming state, which I really don't want. Yeah, also get back in bounds for another collectible. We're gonna go back out of bounds. This one in particular isn't really a huge one, but it skips a decent portion of swimming, so I think it's worth it. I need to jump back in bounds here again for a collectible. And as I mentioned earlier, you can see these white crystals around. Okay, apparently I didn't spawn an enemy here, that's weird, because there's usually like, what you might call it, like an enemy there basically, which wasn't there, which is strange. Can happen when you like skip stuff by going out of bounds like that, but it usually is there, so that's a bit weird. But yeah, you can see there's 70 white crystals in this level, but since they don't get saved, you get like an extra life for each 15, I think, and then for all of them in a level. But since they don't save, they like reset every time you re-enter a level. We don't count them for 100%. I was considering like suggesting a max percent category, which would basically get them, but that would just restrict the run even more since they are all over the place, so I don't really know how fun a run like that would be. Either way, that was perfect. That out of bounds can be really scary because... Okay, well, I wasn't expecting this to happen, but thankfully I'm right next to a spot where I can save it. Of course this happens right when I say that that was perfect. Okay, please land this. Nice, okay. That's like one spot where you can, if you land there, you can basically continue on your merry way. That was scary, because you just want to keep jumping along the wall. You don't really want that to happen, but yeah, thankfully that wasn't a bad spot, because it can happen if you clip into the other door earlier. It's like really scary there. But yeah, I do have a backup for that as well, in case, so hopefully it wouldn't be too bad. Okay, so that collectible can be a little scary, because if you miss it, it loses a ton of time, because you need to get back up there, and but yeah, it's thankfully, especially with Kida, it's not as difficult. And yeah, now we have all the collectibles in this level, so we are gonna do one more out of bounds, which hopefully is going to go well. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything, just in case. Okay, we walk up to this thing as much as we can to make sure that it will allow us to use the ways of water, because if it didn't, that would be really awkward, because the moment I unpause I start falling through and wouldn't be able to do that. Now we land back at our favorite spot, and that's the end of the level. And yeah, basically the trigger for the end isn't there until you fill up the water fountains, so yeah. It's a bit unfortunate because that would make the level a lot easier, but it is what it is. So this is basically the last like platforming level in the game, which, surprise surprise, also has a large skip right at the beginning here, but once again we need collectibles, so we are just gonna talk to the king, who gives us the skeleton key that opens that door, and yeah, we are just gonna go through the level as intended for the most part. Oh, I mean, this level is basically as intended. That's not really anything I'll be breaking, I don't think. The green crystal here. Okay. It's really scary there because this character can't climb walls like Milo can, so I would have to go all the way back to get Milo if I fell down there. Okay, that's the collectible that I want. Okay, I'm shooting a bit more than I need to, but I really want to make sure I don't die here. And now another part with a policeman, which I really hope I'm not gonna die on, because in a practice run I was doing like a couple days before, I messed up and died. No! Okay, he doesn't usually follow me that far, and it's not as bad as dying, because dying would respawn me even further back, but it's a bit sad. Thankfully I have the collectible, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. Yeah, typically he like doesn't follow me that far. That was a bit weird. Leave it to a marathon run for something you've never seen to happen, as we do. Okay, great. So I'm gonna change characters here when I get up this thing. And I use Maul again, which I think this is like the second time in the entire run that we are using him. Second and last, actually. This level is nice in that you basically get to play as every character. Okay. And yeah, here you're meant to push down this big rock to like seal up the hole that makes the stone guys come out and like throw rocks at you, but they're not really that much of a deal. Oh, yeah. In that spot at least. They are relentlessly sniping me around. In other parts, it seems. In any percent, like none of these guys spawn when you do the skip, the start of the level, which is really nice, because it also lowers like some lag and stuff, apart from just being a lot more comfortable. But either way, yeah, that like it's been a while since I've been like busted by a cop in this game, so that was a little unfortunate, but as I said, it was better than getting than dying, because I had a practice run that died there, and that like puts you way further, because a checkpoint I grabbed was like way further behind. But yeah, it is what it is. Now we are going into the third and final vehicle level in the game. This time we are gonna be using an Actirac, which is like an Atlantean flying kind of thing. I mean, to be fair, we weren't glitching too much during this run. But yeah, once again, mostly an auto-scroller, so if there's anything to read, feel free.
Of course. Speaking of glitches, we are thankful to be hosted by No Glitches Allowed. Their next event is coming up in December for No Holidays Allowed, and submissions open on October 1st. The event is open to all kinds of speedruns and showcases that runners have to offer, not just glitchless runs. If you're interested in finding out more, make sure to join their Discord and follow their Twitter @NoGlitches to get updates about future events.
Yeah, so unfortunately I have a feeling history isn't really gonna repeat itself here, because I recently ran all levels in another marathon, and when I did a practice run before that, I missed the world record by like 3 seconds, and then got it during the marathon run, which is the exact same thing that happened in my practice run before this run, but unfortunately the last level is very RNG dependent, and I haven't really been too lucky there lately, so yeah, it's the sad news are that it's probably not gonna world record, but it's gonna be pretty close. Okay, and we have left now is the final boss fight. So yeah, basically the guy we met in the second level is evil, and he's trying to like kidnap Kida because it was like I don't remember the exact like lore because I haven't seen the movie in a while, but basically they had like a life crystal or something that he wanted to like get like steal and sell for a lot of money, and that would make the Atlanteans die, which we don't wanna happen. So yeah, but the RNG I talked about is basically the collectibles kind of just like fall down whenever they feel like it. So I need to look around because another one won't like appear until I grab the previous one. So I can get him all the way down to 1 HP. Now I can't hit him until I get all the collectibles, but timing will end once his HP reaches 0. Kinda just need to oh, okay. Was pretty quick. Okay. Okay, and timing, and now. And it's a world record! I got incredibly lucky on the last level.
Wow! That's amazing!
1:16:33. Yeah, it got saved by the insane RNG at the end. That's incredible.
That's phenomenal! Fantastic job!
Yeah, just gonna make sure. And I do have all the collectibles, so...
that's $10 from each one of us that are in here.
Yeah, right.
And Medi, I believe, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember some people mentioning something about that. So this is the final cutscene. I'm just gonna skip that. So because it's literally a part of the movie, and I can show you the bonus features if we still have time that I unlocked. These credits aren't too long, but yeah. There was... I really wasn't expecting to turn it around like that after what happened in Treachery, but yeah, that's the marathon luck taketh, but it also giveth sometimes. And yeah, I don't know if the timer on the stream was like stopped on time, but if anyone cares about the exact time, it's 1:16:33 according to my splits.
That's what we have as well.
Yeah, okay, that's because sometimes I didn't know if there's like any delay or stuff. So there's also like I might have split like a little late, so maybe, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, these credits should end in a sec. Yeah, okay. And yeah, so basically now when I open special features, these two options that were locked before are now unlocked. There's like concept art. I'm not gonna go through all of it. I just wanna like quickly show. And the model viewer, which basically has like every character model in the game, where you can kind of just look at them like this, which is kind of cool. And yeah, there's also all the movies for the levels, the Atlantis letters that we unlocked. But either way, yeah, that's gonna be it from me, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for... Well, if anyone's interested in this game, feel free to join the Discord. It's linked on the speedrun.com page. We are definitely willing to help you out with anything you might need to get started. But yeah, thanks for having me, and good luck with the rest of the marathon.
Thank you for your awesome run. Where can people find you?
Well, I'm called PlayerGameSK on most social media, be it Twitch, Twitter, and whatnot. So if you type PlayerGameSK in, you'll probably find me.
Fantastic. And thank you for that awesome world record run.